The Battle of Guadalcanal, which lasted from August 7, 1942, to February 9, 1943, was a turning point in the Pacific War. After securing Guadalcanal, Allied forces, particularly the United States and its Pacific allies, continued their offensive in the Solomon Islands. The next phase of the campaign focused on the Central Solomons, aiming to neutralize Japanese strongholds and prepare for the eventual assault on Rabaul, a key Japanese base. Strategic importance of the Central Solomons. The Central Solomons, including New Georgia, Kolombangara, and Bougainville, were crucial for both the Allies and the Japanese. The islands provided airfields, naval bases, and logistical routes. For the Allies, capturing these locations would weaken Japanese defenses and disrupt their supply lines, while for the Japanese, they were vital for maintaining their defensive perimeter. The New Georgia Campaign. Initial operations. After securing Guadalcanal, the Allies set their sights on the New Georgia Islands, which were defended by well-entrenched Japanese forces. The campaign began in earnest in June 1943 with landings on Rendova, a small island that served as a staging ground for the assault on Munda, the principal Japanese base on New Georgia. Battle of Munda Point. The Battle for Munda, from July to August 1943, was a grueling campaign characterized by dense jungle fighting and well-fortified Japanese positions. U.S. Army and Marine Corps units, supported by air and naval bombardments, gradually overcame Japanese resistance. Munda Airfield was secured on August 5, 1943, providing the Allies with a crucial forward base. The Kolombangara Bypass. Following the capture of New Georgia, the Allies faced the heavily defended Japanese stronghold on Kolombangara. Rather than launching a costly frontal assault, they employed a strategy of island hopping, bypassing the island and instead landing on Vella La Vella to the northwest in August 1943. This maneuver isolated Japanese forces on Kolombangara, rendering them ineffective without direct engagement. The Bougainville Campaign. Landings at Cape Torokina. With Kolombangara neutralized, the Allies advanced to Bougainville, a critical stepping stone towards Rabaul. On November 1, 1943, U.S. Marines landed at Cape Torokina, encountering stiff Japanese resistance. The ensuing battle saw prolonged jungle warfare, with the Allies establishing a secure perimeter and repelling multiple counterattacks. Expansion and defense. Despite fierce Japanese efforts to dislodge them, Allied forces, reinforced by the U.S. Army in 1944, held their positions. The campaign on Bougainville lasted until the end of the war, with the Japanese forces increasingly isolated and unable to launch effective counterattacks. Impact of the Central Solomons Campaign. The success in the Central Solomons had far-reaching consequences. Weakened Japanese presence. The campaign significantly depleted Japanese manpower and resources, making further resistance difficult. Securing air and naval superiority. Allied control of airfields and bases allowed for greater strategic bombing and naval operations. Path to Rabaul. The isolation of Rabaul, rather than its direct capture, proved decisive in neutralizing Japanese power in the Pacific. The Central Solomons Campaign was a vital stage in the Pacific War. It demonstrated the effectiveness of the Allied island-hopping strategy, reducing unnecessary casualties while strategically advancing toward Japan. This phase of the war not only secured crucial bases but also set the stage for further operations in the Pacific, ultimately leading to Japan's defeat in 1945.